We're now joined on the Domino's post-game report by Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincey after the Lady Eagles lose on their home floor 80-77 to Lincoln Memorial. And, Coach, this is a tough one to really dissect because neither team really had any kind of traction throughout the game. The largest lead was 4 points, 16 ties, 15 lead changes in this basketball game. But your team could just never get over the hump. You took a 3-point lead in the third quarter, never could quite expand things out. What do you think was the difference tonight?
You know, I just feel like, especially there in the second half, when every time we would either tie it or take a lead and we're looking to get a big stop, you know, even though they only got 9 offensive rebounds, it was just critical offensive rebounds that we didn't pull down. There was always something that allowed us to not be able to come down and try to take a 2-possession lead. You know, and you got to credit them. I felt like that they came in and to some degree, especially in the first half, I felt like they wanted a little bit more than we did. They were playing extremely hard, and you know, and I knew that. I told our guys coming in, you know, that they're going to do that, and especially the twins in particular. Of course, you know, 21. I mean, she's just a hard guard. You know, she's making some really tough shots. But we just shot ourselves in the foot too many times, especially, you know, in the offensive end, just not always getting a good look, giving up untimely, you know, offensive rebounds. So I don't know, you know, but you can't go 4 of 22 if you really want to look at it. You can't go 4 of 22 from the 3 in your home facility when you shoot as well as we do in here.
Yeah, Kelsey Marisite's 2 of 3. The rest of the team 1 of 19, or 2 of 19 rather, from long range. Walk me through the final moments in this one. You got Kayla Marisite's a pretty good look.
Yeah.
She missed it. She had another fairly decent look from the right wing as well. What was the game plan there late?
Well, you know, I thought we executed well late to tie it up out of a sideline play, and then you know, what we have, like 13 seconds, 12, 13 seconds. And, you know, my goal at that point was to try to get a 3 off and, you know, then just to try to go crash. Obviously, you could try to go for a 2, which hadn't been easy all night. And then you got to foul and put them down there with another chance to get up by 3. And they're pretty good free throw shooters. So we elected to run a play. I thought they executed it pretty well. And I thought Kayla had a good look from the top of the key, which is where you want to shoot it from. And almost went down, but didn't go down to tie the game. And, of course, now I don't have timeouts left. 35, give her credit. Freshman stepped up, made 4 critical free throws down the stretch. And then we come down, you know, we don't have timeouts left. We don't have a lot of time. We get a pretty good look off with Tank, who's a, you know, above 40% three-point shooter. Just didn't go down, you know, to tie the game again. So it's unfortunate, and our kids are hurting, but, you know, we'll learn from it. And the good thing about knowing about tonight is that we're going to be playing next week.
Yeah, 9 days until your next game here at this point. But the one thing that we talked about against Newberry, we've kind of talked about a little bit, 4 of 18 to begin the game. You have not started games well of late. You have 9 days to try to correct that. What can you do to try to help your team get off to better starts? You
know, we've talked about it, to be honest with you, about what we can do, and we had a couple of even new sets that we had put in to try to get some easy looks, just to try to get on the board, and just not able to do it. You know, teams are coming out. They're actually really juiced and energized to play us, and they're playing good D. And I think it just kind of shocks our kids a little bit that they can't get around people, can't get to the rim. And so that's why we put in a couple of different sets just to see if we could get stuff. But didn't work, you know. And, you know, the whole first half was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was ugly for us. I don't know how LMU feels, but it was ugly for us. And, you know, just a frustrating game. You know, LMU in particular, the last 10 games, they hadn't shot above 40% from the field in any one of those games. Then they come in here and go almost 49%. And, you know, that's why we're probably walking out of here was because they shot it so well and we just couldn't defend them.
You were probably in a good spot to feel good as the 2 seed in the region when that came out today. Who knows where you're going to end up? You potentially think you'd probably drop at least 1, depending on how North Georgia does, maybe 2, depending on how Wingate's able to perform. When you look now into regional play and into tournament play, how do you use tonight as a learning experiment for this group? Because your 2 seniors played really well, 37 points between those 2. Bree got to the line a lot. But the rest of the group didn't necessarily bring as much efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, I think in March when something like this happens, the only good thing about us is that, you know, with the loss, it's not going to end our season. More than likely, you know, you wouldn't imagine it would, being the 2 seed. And stuff like this, it stings. And you're not going to have a chance to go and try to defend your crown that you won last year. Obviously, you're on their home floor. It doesn't happen very often that the home team loses, but it did tonight. You know, as we go and we start to prepare for whoever we're going to play next week in the NCAA tournament, assuming we make it, you know, maybe they can look back to this game and realize, you know, that wasn't very much fun. You know, losing wasn't very much fun. Of course, the next time we play is going to be one and done. You know, if you lose, you're going to be done for the entire year, and these seniors will be out of here. You know, hopefully we can get. I think that they played hard at times, but still, it's just we're just making little mental things that are happening, and you just can't win You can't win games in March against quality opponents when you're making those mental mistakes.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you on the selection show on Sunday.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincey.